Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we throw flowers into the audience instead of the audience throwing flowers at the performers. This past year has been crazy, to say the least, and there have been many underappreciated individuals, teenagers specifically. Our schedules have been changed and altered numerous times, and up until recently, all the students at my high school, Carmel High, have been remote learning the entire year. 24/7 around parents and family, many of us have learned to put up a front to avoid the always possible, always lurking, how are you doing, from parents and siblings that we weren't really sure how to respond to. We have so many roses here on set today, as you can see, and that's because our theme is Smell the Roses. Smell the Roses not only means to be curious and look deeper into things that you're curious about, but also just being able to sit with yourself and reflect on how you're feeling or thinking at any moment. Sitting with yourself and being and smelling the roses. This form of therapy for me came in the form of poetry since middle school. It's a way for me to sort through thoughts and feelings that before seemed impossible to untangle. I prepared a poem for today that I believe not only encapsulates today's theme, but also many of the struggles that have occurred in adolescence this past year. Without further ado, A Garden of Roses. I drift off to sleep one night under cuddly covers, head resting on a silk pillowcase, and in a memory of a mind of mine, I come to a rose of gardens, a garden of roses. At first glance through the glass of a dream, all seems quiet, still, but serene. But a deep inhale breaks the boundary and pushes play. Ears overhear a conversation betwixt birds, and eyes see blossoms of every blush. Soles of feet rest in soil warmed by heat of the sun, and a breeze rushes through fingers that now hold a rose of their own. The rose in hand is watermelon pink, brand new and still on the brink of life, no thorns like strife to rid in a smooth stem, like the unburdened personality that stems from the innocence of a child. But all of a sudden, a thorn grows like wild, a pricked fingertip and a trickle of blood slips down the side of an index finger. The blood may linger a little longer than I would like, but the spike that has pierced the side of my rose pains me more. For somewhere a string pulls at my gut, and it tells me one thing. The rose is not a rose, and the thorn is not a thorn. The stem is not a stem, and the roots rooted in soil are not actually roots. Nothing is as it seems. For at the seams of my dream I have created a metaphor, but the thorn is a seam ripper, and now it is all stripped apart. The rose I hold in my hands is the soul of my future daughter. The beautiful flower is what she projects, a joyous, bright, and beautiful girl that everyone respects, but beneath rests the ever-changing truth. Next, the stem is her shoulders and spine, but every chip on the shoulder is a spine, a thorn in the side of this rose of mine. At her base, where toes meet soil, endless roots stretch out over turmoil, virtues. Some may change over time as they climb the ever-changing world of life, but I hope and I pray that she doesn't encounter too much strife. When I first walked into a rose of gardens, a garden of roses, I only saw the beautiful flowers which littered and distracted from what lay beneath. As the hearts of our or your children were torn to shreds by the weeds of the world like the work of ravenous teeth. So to the parents, here and now, listen and hear the cries of your children. Do not overlook the beautiful, unshaded, unjaded roses that your children put up as a front, like a stunt double in one of your favorite action movies. Check on them like I checked off the parts of a flower in an honors biology lab, whilst also always checking that my abdominal muscles were as flat as the desk I scribbled notes on 10 minutes before. And to my fellow students who will sit at that same desk from dusk until dawn, take care not to spoil the soil for your own children, the roses you hold so preciously in hand. Hand them a warm, welcoming world so that too many thorns do not sprout upon their stem as they are spun through the whirlwind of adolescence. Because the world is a garden of roses with flowers for its people. Thank you.